wasn't the same. Hey cool kids, let's talk about albums. So sometime during the weekend, I kind of forgot that the progression of days goes Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, and I just sort of assumed it was going to be, the next Monday was like a couple weeks away. So I didn't actually think that much about what I was going to talk about, and by that much, I mean at all. I've been listening to the new Arcade Fire album, The Suburbs, and I think it's pretty fantastic, actually. If you've listened to that album, you know it's kind of a concept album in that the whole album is themed around this idea of the suburbs and this idea of home and place and placelessness. I'm not going to talk about that, but what I am going to talk about is the idea of what an album is, or a concept album. So musicians write music and then release them on records called albums. And sometimes these albums are concept albums, which means that they have a theme or they have a thing that they do. So the Church Music album by David Crowder Band is a continuous flow of music, and it cycles. And not only that, but the progression of the music, the progression of the songs, is meant to represent the music of each different age of church history. So it begins with the oldest worship song, and then it progresses from there through the ages of history. The Decemberist album, The Hazards of Love, is continuous music representing a story. Like I said, The Suburbs is talking about place and placelessness, and the whole album is about that. But what I wonder is why an album containing one unified idea throughout the entire album is called a concept album. Because if you think about it, you would think a songwriter or a band having the corporate consciousness of the band would produce connected ideas, which is to say that if I write songs, they're all going to be connected to me in some way, and therefore there's going to be connections between the songs. In my mind, a concept album is really just the product of organized songwriting, which is to say that the songwriter or the corporate band consciousness is capable of recognizing the connections between their ideas and finding the unifying theme around those ideas, and then writing songs which express that unified idea through the individual ideas, or express those individual ideas within the context of the unifying idea. So what about other albums that are not concept albums and don't express the linear train of thought that can be followed as the album progresses? They're just disorganized. Two thoughts. Either they are the expression of a singular consciousness, and that consciousness is simply disorganized in the manner that it expresses its ideas, or it is the expression of multiple consciousnesses. Like you have a band consciousness, and maybe that band consciousness has a central idea, but you also have individuals in the band, and each of those individuals has a central idea. And maybe they write a song about that central idea, and they put it on a record, and it doesn't fit because they're an individual and their central idea is different. Ultimately, I think that the Wikipedia game and Apples to Apples prove that every idea is connected to every other idea, so really there's no excuse for not making a concept album. Or rather, there's no excuse for not being organized in your expression. Unless you don't want your expression organized in that way, in which case that's fine. I appreciate non-concept albums just as much as I appreciate concept albums. Actually, that's a lie. I appreciate concept albums more just because they are more organized and I value organization. But it is not necessary for an album to be a concept album to be a good album. Goodbye. Oh look, you can see myself, and if I lean in like that, you can see myself seeing myself. Ah, that's cool.